Okay, everyone, welcome everyone back to Kadal Shira at the Young Israel of Woodmere. Thank you everyone for attending. And we're back in Likutei Halachos, Hilchos Kriyas HaTorah. We're in Halacha Vav. And we're going to pick it up at letter Lamed Zayin on the top of your pages. Everyone see it? Everyone got it? Yeah? Okay. Void Lelekai Milet. Ve'inyan Divrei Rabbi Seinu Zal, as the Chazal taught us, Yoilam Yashlim Odam Parsheisav Im tzibur. It's a very important topic. It's a din in Shulchan Aruch, right? That we're supposed to be Ma'avesedra, right? And we're supposed to finish our parsha with the tzibur. So in other words, everyone's familiar with the Daf Yomi, right? You'll finish the Daf, right? You have Daf HaYom, right? And so this is the original one where we're being Ma'avesedra, right? Shni'em, Mikra, Targum. Right? Shni'em, Mikra, Targum. You read the pasuk 2 times, and you read the Targum 1 time, and that's Shni'em, Mikra, Targum. Okay? And Li'olam Yashlam Odam Parsheisav Im tzibur Shekol Divrayim Amukim Miyoid V'chol Dibur V'Dibur Yesh Behem Rozen Amukim. Whatever Chazal tell us to do, they're very, very deep secrets. It's very, very rooted. And even though we don't always understand why Chazal told us to do something, we should always know that Chazal knows best. Knows best, and if Chazal told us to do something, we should just follow it, even though we don't always understand it.
And it's not some arbitrary.
Right. V'inyan li'olam yashlam adam li'olam daika. A person should do this all the time. See, what we're getting at is like this. So many times, someone will say like this. I was Ma'avesedra last year, and I know this parsha really well. Perhaps it was someone's bar mitzvah parsha, and I know this parsha really, really well. So why do I have to be Ma'avesedra? I know it. No. Li'olam. The answer is li'olam. You kind of constantly do this. It doesn't matter how many times you did this. Adarabah, it always has to be with a hitzchachas. You have to see the Torah is always something new. Let's see. So b'chol darga shu tzarich li'olam l'hashlim parsheisav im tzibur. Anytime, no matter what level we're on, everyone has to partake in this. No one is exempt. Every Jew is supposed to do this. Even if a person came to a very, very high level, he may be the Gadol Hadar. He may be the Gadol Hadar. He came to a great, great level. Because his learning is so precious and dear to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So this great tzaddik has to now connect himself with the tzibur as well. So in other words, everyone has to be part of the community. No one should exempt themselves from the community. So someone would think that, listen, he's the great tzaddik, and perhaps he can use his time better. Perhaps he can use his time better with other things other than being Ma'avesedra. But no, even the great tzaddik has to be Ma'avesedra to connect himself with the rest of the community. He has to connect himself to the community. He can't stand out without the community. In order that way he can connect to the community, and then he can then cause them to connect to him.
Yeah.
Because he's part of the group.
Yeah.
He's not outside of the group. He's part of the group. So Mamela, the people can connect to him and feel there's a connection. There's a connection between them, and therefore, yes. Now, today, because every time, look, we just had Shvuas Baruch Hashem, right?
Yeah.
But Kabbalas HaTorah has to be something new b'chol pam. We can't ever look at the parsha, look at Torah, look at anything, look at a Mishnah, look at Allah. This old Mishnah. I know this. No, every time you look at it and try to see something new that you didn't see in the last time. Yes, go ahead, Yaakov.
We have standards in Ada, with people are learning together similarly.
Yeah.
It's an Ada, and it may have a completely different. if we believe that, then could have a completely different strength of
Of
learning.
course, that's what we're saying. That's why everyone has to be as a group. So whether or not, even if you're sitting home and you're being Mavisedra, you're not in the shul, whatever, you're at home doing it. But the Jews in Eretz Yisrael, they're doing it, and the Jews in France and in England and Germany, everywhere in the world, they're all being Mavisedra, the same parsha. Right? Okay. Ki afilu Moshe Rabbeinu ba'atzmai, shekedushasai u'malosai ha'isa gavoya mi'ayid ma'ayid. That's irrefutable, right? Moshe Rabbeinu was the holiest and the greatest Navi that we ever had or ever will have.
Right.
He couldn't go up to Hashem to draw the Torah, bring the Torah down. He had to connect everyone to him. He needed the power of the community. Watch, just watch. Kamei Shamra B'Sein Azal Pasik Leich Reid Kulam Nasati Lecha Gedula Ela B'Shvil Yisrael. Leich Reid, go and gather everyone. Leich Reid Kolam, go gather up all of the people, and then you'll be able to get the Torah with the people. You can't take the Torah yourself.
Move that camera to the side so we can see you a little bit.
Okay, is that better?
Much better.
Okay.
So then can you move it a little bit over for Shimon, please?
Okay, how move it right here. Okay. How's that? That's good.
I'll move over.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
Put a
Okay.
mark on the table.
Let's feel you say we have to mark. Yeah. Okay. V'chol ha'pegam sheloi binyan hakoes hatzibur hatzur. The whole idea with Moshe Rabbeinu, his mistake that he made, that he hit that rock. Hakoes hatzur. Shayidei zeh lo yizacha lichnos l'Eretz Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't able to go to Eretz Yisrael because he hit the rock. Remember, we studied a lot about that, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone was watching, and Hashem told him to talk to the rock, and Moshe Rabbeinu wound up hitting the rock. Haya b'yazeh shesilek oz tfilasai v'lei kishrei kirou im klal nashes Yisrael. See, Moshe Rabbeinu, at the moment, he so to say disconnected himself from the community for the moment, and because he disconnected himself from the community, he made that error again on Moshe Rabbeinu's level. Okay, now Mikol Shekain, B'chol Shekain, Anoshim shoot them. So that's, you see, what by look at the example of Nassan is bringing us. If you take even Moshe Rabbeinu, as great as Moshe Rabbeinu was, he needed the Klal Yisrael to connect to get the Torah in order to draw the Torah from Hashem. And then at the moment he tries to disconnect himself even for a moment from Klal Yisrael, and Moshe Rabbeinu makes the biggest error he ever made. Again, on Moshe Rabbeinu's level.
Is he trying to disconnect himself by hitting the rock? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, in other words, Moshe Rabbeinu left the community, so to say, and then he was standing by himself, and that's when he made that mistake.
Oh, I see. That's what
Mikol Shekain and Amucha, but now, so much so, us simple people, all of us, so how much more do we have to make sure that we're always connecting ourselves with the whole community, and we're not standing by ourselves. Mikol Shekain and Amuchim v'agruim b'yaiser, and even those that are very, very low and very coarse, so much so they need to always connect to the community. Shekol tikunam sheyavakshu miHashem yizbarach tamid v'yechavnu b'chol avodaysam sheyizku lekasha im tzibur hakodesh. We always have to remember that we need to always connect to Klal Yisrael. We can't be individuals. We're a community, and we have to always connect to the community. So we're learning here that Chazal taught us that we're supposed to be Mavis Sedra, and we're supposed to do it in that order of Shni'em, Mikra, Becha, Targum. And if we do that, and we do that with everybody else, we're part of the great Klal Yisrael, and we're included in Klal Yisrael, and that's our way to lift ourselves up. Now, V'zeh shomer b'medrash Rabbah, right? What does it say? B'say chachos al ovain yisarta ish. Zeh Moshe, right? Didiksiv bei va'ish Moshe shebeshvil ovan echad kal shel hakois hatzur yisarta oisai. So 1 second, Moshe Rabbeinu hit the rock, so he gets, so to say, he gets punished so greatly because he did one thing. He did one thing wrong. One thing. He hit the rock. V'temes ke'os chamudai shemesade v'bitholai chemdosai shechamad miyoy lichnois le'etz Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted so desperately to come to Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah.
So he made one mistake. He erred with one thing, and there was no return. He couldn't fix it. It couldn't be fixed. Ach, kol hevel shel adam nitzav sela sheshar b'nei adam heim bevadei kol hevel havel havolim. Hainu okay. Shekavanas hamedrash lahasker ulahazir es adam sheyifkach al derochav, that we should become smart on our ways. V'yochas al atzmai levakish tachbula nashe linotzel v'mashe tzorich linotzel ba'olma dein ba'olma dasi. In other words, what are we saying like this? Moshe Rabbeinu makes this mistake. So we're supposed to learn. We're supposed to learn from everything in the Torah.
Right.
So how much so that we have to beg HaKadosh Baruch Hu to guide us, that who knows what we'll do wrong, then how we will be led astray, chas v'shalom.
No, but isn't it ironic that when they did the eagle,
Yeah.
so Moshe Rabbeinu was pleading with Hashem, forgive them, forgive them.
Maschan Hashem, 515 tefillos, yes.
Right. And Hashem said, Salachti.
Yeah.
But when he did that one thing and he was pleading with Hashem for himself.
That was the community, yes. And that was by himself.
And look what they did.
Right.
And look the little thing he did. And Hashem wouldn't forgive him, but because of he was on that
Well,
level.
there's many reasons why.
Yeah,
It's very complicated. Okay.
Yeah.
V'zeh she'is hiru she'yilmaid kal v'chayim Moshe Rabbeinu she'b'shvil oven kal le'nichnas le'etz Yisrael. So we learned the kal v'chayim. If Madach Moshe Rabbeinu, which was so great, and he made a mistake, and he couldn't go to Eretz Yisrael, how much so we're not on that level? How much so we have to protect ourselves from doing the wrong thing? Because who knows what we'll have. The whole problem Moshe Rabbeinu was at that moment he wasn't connected to the community. That was the mistake.
Yeah.
That was the real mistake, and that's what caused the error.
Yeah.
Mikol shekain, kol adam sheyamale avonos. All these Jewish people have mole avonos that are filled. Unfortunately, we make mistakes. Hu bevadai hevel, v'alikein bevadai kol takanasai sheyishtadel kol yomav levakesh al nafshei liyos nichla b'seich tzibur. We beg HaKadosh Baruch Hu all the time. Let us be included in the tzibur. I don't want to be an individual. Don't judge me alone. That's why we always want to daven with a minyan.
Yeah.
We don't want to daven by yourself, because when you're davening with a minyan and you're with a whole beautiful group of people, even though each individual may not be so great on his own, but as a community, it looks beautiful. The community is beautiful. So I want to beg Hashem to let me be part of a community, so I can feel the unity in the community.
Yeah.
That I'm not an outsider in the community. I'm part of the community. V'soich nafshes Yisrael hamukusharim letzadik emes ha'oisik tamid lekavsam or lekashram elav yachid, and to be connected to the great tzaddikim, of course, to be connected to the tzaddikim and not feel distant from them, not feel distance from the ways of the tzaddikim. And many times the great tzaddikim would act in a way of simplicity, right? All the tzaddikim. There's stories with Moshe, with Moshe Olav Shalom, right, with Yaakov Kamenetsky. These great tzaddikim with goes in many times in the way of shitas in order to do things on a mundane level to let people realize that they're not really different than everybody else.
Yeah.
There's something common. They have something in common with other people. They would do these things purposely in order to feel that people have something in common with the tzaddikim. Because if we're connected to the tzaddikim, and we then listen to what they tell us, we listen to what they're telling us. By us listening to what they're telling us, so that's our tikkun. That's how we can get kihain and kabi lo yimas. Right? Okay. B'soich klal yala tzaddik gam nafshay af imhu piguma ba'avonos moed. And even if this person is full of many blemishes, he did many things wrong, But if he's going to connect to the tzaddik can lift him up. Right? Okay. So basically, Rav Nosson is telling us over here the most important thing is to always be connected to tzaddikim and to realize that we need that. Because our connection to the tzaddikim is a connection to Klal Yisrael and so on. Now, Lamed Ches. B'zeh b'chinas ma shekosta b'shulchan aruch she'osa lahaskil l'kayrei shnei psukim samich l'parsha shelefaneh. You can't start with leaving two psukim. You can't, in other words, leaving a liyah that there'll be two psukim. You can't have that. V'chein osa l'sayim shnei psukim samich l'parsha la'achareha. So in other words, you don't start before the parsha, don't start after the parsha. You start within the parsha and you follow the sequence of the aliyahs.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. We just take that for granted because that's what we do.
Well, no, but sometimes we add aliyahs.
But within the parsha.
Well, yeah. Well, how can you?
He's going to explain. Okay, here. Vatam Amru b'Gemara. Mishum hanichnosim v'yotzim shelo yitu hanichnosim shekoru lozeh shelafanav rak shnei psukim. Because then, if they're reading only this two psukim before, then people think, "Oh, that's it. This is the end of the parsha," so they'll leave. He'll cause them to leave. Oh, they finished. They finished. So I'm going to leave. No, we don't want to do that. They don't only read the psukim. That this is a very strong situation. And that's basically the way we do it. You finish the parsha where it ends, and you start the next parsha. Right? That's how we do it every week, right?
Okay.
Minimum of 3 psukim, exactly. Because of the Kibbutz. Al pia now, so tzrichen lishma miyoid as a shleisha meichin sheyu mechitzos prusos b'fnei zois hatava. He's going to wait. I skipped the yeah. V'ikar hu mayach hashlishi shu adas. So we know we have something called in our mind. There's 3 sections. We have chachma, bina, and das.
Yeah.
Chachma, right, is knowledge.
Yeah.
Bina is understanding, and the das is when you take the knowledge and you put the understanding together, you get the das.
Yeah, something.
But the main thing is the das, because that's the outcome of the chachma and the bina.
Yeah.
So what das mean in English? Das means what does das mean?
I don't know how would you translate?
How do you translate?
If chachma is the wisdom, bina is the understanding, and the das may be the knowledge. The knowledge. We'll call it the knowledge, okay? Because with that, going back to the Eitz Das Taivara, right? Because what happened over there? You had the Chachma, Bina, and the Das, right? The Eitz Das Taivara was the outcome, the knowledge came bad. So Yedei ze ikra anisoyen va'abeira shayodai ikra tikun shezeh b'chinas kriyas ha'parasha Shni'em Mikra v'echad Targum ki yefshel liskois l'shoyer anal shiyeh be'ez chidash oilam lotzit shul tachlis shashua oilam haba. Because when we're going to come, we need to read the parsha. We need to always connect to the community and to the tzaddikim. By us doing this, that's our shashua oilam haba. When we come to the next world, when we connect it to the community, we'll always be connected, and that'll be our greatest pleasure. That's our greatest delight. So why? In other words, we're going to understand now. We're going to learn a little bit now. Why is there Targum? What does Targum have to do? What does Targum have to do with the Shni'em Mikra? Why is the law that you need to do Shni'em Mikra ve'echad Targum?
Yeah.
Well, you ever wonder that? Why it should just be Shni'em Mikra, do the parsha twice, but it's no Shni'em Mikra ve'echad Targum, right? You ever wonder why? Why do you need to learn the Unclus? So we're going to learn something now special about what does it mean Targum. That's what we're going to be studying now. Shezoichel lezeh kol echad miyisrael kefi ma she'omer b'nisoyin b'tzeir b'tava. In other words, when we have to protect ourselves from the different taivas that are in the world. Kefi ma shezoichel lechapes levakish she'tzadik emes habal koyach shayodai ikar beira hamedama. Next page. וכנגד זה הם בחינת שלושה פסוקים בתורה שמחויב כל אחד מהקוראים קריאס לפחס. So basically, we learn like this. Every time we have an aliyah. So the minimum amount of psukim is what? 3. Minimum amount of psukim in aliyah is 3.
Yeah.
Why? Because in a pasuk, 3 psukim, you have 1 keneged chachma, the next pasuk is bina, and the next one is das. So you have a complete system when you have an aliyah. Right? Kayin, Levi, Yisrael. Chachma, Bina, Das. Always systems of 3s. Always systems of 3s. Now, okay. Kol bechina shleisha shel Torah. All these ideas, the 3s and the 3s in Torah. Kamei Shomer b'sein azal. Beirach, Rachma. Oh, we lost the line. Oh, hold on. It didn't make a good copy. I think I have my book here. Just one moment, everybody. Just one moment.
It was too far over.
Yeah. Reish
A little too, just a little, if you, half a word. Or
we'll have it in a moment. Yeah. Yeah, but we need the one word. Yeah. Yeah. It's all about Hashem. It's amazing. Okay, here we go. Right here. Okay, I'll go from here now. Okay. Kamei Shomer b'sein azal. Brich Rachmana the Yoav Lan Ayrin Tilisai, B'Yayim Tilisai, the 3 on the 3rd day, Ba'archai Tilasi on the 3rd month. Ayrich, right? K'akol Kineged B'Chines Shleisha Maichin, Sheika Hu HaMayich HaShlishi, the main thing is the Das Hu HaDas. The main thing is always the outcome, the Das. Shesham Ikar HaBeira, that's where you have the main Beira, Shu Bechinas Targum, and that's what Targum is. Now the Rebbi is going to explain what this means. Now he's going to explain. Balkein Sarach Leida, Kol Echad Niyisol, Shereitz Lochus Al Nafshay, Velotzeis Muzim Masai, Lekariv Letzadik Yamas. Therefore, everyone that wants to take pity on themselves, and they want to take themselves out of their impurity, and they want to be able to connect to tzaddikim. And what's the ikar? Why do you want to connect to the tzaddikim? Because you want to make tshuva, you want to return to Hashem. Tzarech Leida, Shebehechrich, Sheyavru Olav Kama V'Kama Mashbirim, V'Galim, V'Bechinas, V'Nisyoinais, V'Tzerufim. We're going to go through life. We're going to have a lot of trials and tribulations. We're going to go through a lot of different things in life. Every time something else, there's different things. V'im lo yiyeh shoyte v'pesi g'ksil, v'lo yanuach es mekoymei b'chol ma sheyavar olav. But if the person won't be foolish, and he's gonna realize that really the Kadosh Baruch Hu puts me through each one of the situations for a reason, and he's gonna try to get to the end. He's gonna try to get to bevada yiskil ha'achris toiv lenetzach. So if you don't get signed, we learned the concept many times. You have to always start again, right? Always start again. You have to always have eschatras. You have to start. You have to start again. Why? Because again, if a person realizes I did this thing wrong, so say, oh, my day is shot. I did this wrong today. No, so start again now. Start again.
It's every
moment. Lesson 6. Shemisha writes it Losha B'tshuva. Tzarech sheyeh baki b'halacha, baki b'ratzi, baki b'shav. If you want to be, if you really want to do tshuva, you have to be a baki b'ratzi, baki b'shav. What does that mean? You have to know how to go up, and you have to know how to come back down. In other words, you can't just always be going up. A Jew is not just going up. A Jew has to go up, and he comes back down a little
then
bit,
he uses that
and then
as
he
a
uses that as a springboard to go
to-
to the next level.
Yeah.
You have to be a Baki Baratzi Baki B'Shav, not just to understand when things are going well. I'm a good Jew when everything is going nice and everything is clear to me. No, but on the days that it's not so clear to me, on the days where I don't feel like I want to go to shul, I don't feel like I want to daven, I don't feel like I want to, but I do it anyway. That's Baki B'Shai. I understand that I have to weather the storm, even though I don't necessarily want to do it. But that's when I'm having a yerida. But that, if I could do that, it'll take me up to the aliyah.
Help you with the
Right.
Sure.
Can we say that this case where Hashem is giving us a chance to have more slack because you don't get something the first time. If you get something easily, so it's wonderful.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean as much.
But if you go,
You work for it. Sure.
Yeah, so
Yes, if you work for something, you appreciate it so much more.
sometimes it wants us to maybe to review so that we should understand.
Exactly.
So maybe a bracha.
It's all.
Sure.
Kol ma David Rachman l'tava, but Hashem does everything for our good. Whether we understand it or not, everything, and that's the principle we have to live by. Okay, b'bechina zaka man the ayo v'nafik. A person has to be strong when he's going up. Ayo v'nafik when he comes back down. Ayin sham heitev v'chol zeh hakoyach mekablin rak me'atzadik emes. We need the tzaddikim to give us chizuk in those times when we're not doing so well.
Yeah.
But they'll tell you, don't worry, you go on, and don't worry about it. Shu bechinas Moshe, shu Moshe nafshei tamid b'shvil chalushei kayach shebi Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu was Moshe nefesh with us. Look how many times we made mistakes in the midbar.
Yeah.
But Moshe Rabbeinu stayed with us, and he helped us each and every single time. He didn't care. He lifted us up each and every single time. And he had so many different strategies with his tremendous wisdom. So therefore, anyone that wanted to come close to Hashem, wanted to come close to Moshe, he gave them a great opportunity for each and every one of them to be able to come close to Hashem. Now, you know, when you have a hafsaka, right? You have an end. You end off the parsha, and there's a hefsek, and then you start the next parsha. Shem hapsuchais vastumais. Sometimes they're open, and sometimes they're closed. Right? There's some parshas that are closed. You don't have the gap. Some that's called a stuma. Right? It's closed. Remember the Rebbi Zayin Zal come a move of Perish Rashi Parshas Vayikra Mahayu Hav Sokais Mashmois. What's mashma to that? Why do we have to have these breaks in the Torah? What do you see from that? Litin Revach LeMoshe Liz Bainain Bein Parsha LeParsha Bein Inyan LeInyan. So Moshe Rabbeinu would have time to think through. The parsha and to process it. And to be mizbainin in the parsha, kal v'choyim lehediyit halomid min hahedyit. So if Moshe Rabbeinu had to stop, if Moshe Rabbeinu had to sometimes stop learning to process things, so too, so much knows how much we have to do that. How much more do we need to think through the parsha? What do we learn from the parsha? What can I gain from this? And go weiter. He's going to explain. Ad kan l'shoyne. Ve'ikar ma shehoyet tzarech Moshe revach le'izbainin. Ben parsha parsha machmas akiras hamaisim shel ha'olam. Because Moshe Rabbeinu had to, so to say, recognize different things, what's going on into the world. Moshe Rabbeinu had to do that. Shemachma zeh kosher miyoid la'atzadik. Shu b'chinas Moshe lahamshich Torah la'olam. Me'ahelem el agiloi. See, the Torah is helem, is something, it's something obscure. But he has to make it now to something giloi, revealed, so that way people can understand it. Really, the Torah is something obscure. We don't really understand it. But the tzaddikim come and explain what the parsha means, what the pasuk means, what does this letter mean, what does this word mean, and they tell us. So they take it from Hester and they make it hella. They make it from hella. They take it into Gilui, right? They make it explain. Parsha, and that's what it means. Parsha. Why do we call it a parsha? What's parsha?
A portion.
No, a parsha means also to be mefarish.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
A parsha is a perush, is an explanation. That's why we call it a parsha.
Yeah, to explain. Yeah, payroll.
Ki yesh kama v'kama kitrugim al zeh, k'mavay v'divrei Rabbeinu zal, kama kitrugim ha-malachim al Kabbalas HaTorah. We know by Kabbalas HaTorah the malachim said, Tenu haytchal Shemayim. Why are you giving this Torah to the Jewish people? The malachim didn't want to let Hashem give the Torah to us, right? We all know that, right? Hashem the malachim said, "Why are you giving this to people?" So Hashem said to the malachim, "Do you have a father? Do you have a mother? Do you have this? So what do you have to do with the Torah?" And that's how he was able to give the Torah to us. But there's a lot of kitrig that the Torah shouldn't come to us.
Yeah.
Moshe had to he had to accept the Nachman and this guy, Maichai, Beisha Kibel Adibur, Shahayat Sarich Litin, Lai Revach, Liz Bainin, Bain Parsha Parsha. So Moshe Rabbeinu was working so hard to accept all these parashiyas, and Moshe Rabbeinu had to come up, he had to think it through, and how he's going to tell it over to us. How he's going to teach it to Klal Yisrael. Yeah. So Moshe Rabbeinu had to have a space in between. Zeh Revach Shahayat Maspik Mizbainin. Ayadei zeh asa taiva naira le'olam hatzrichen lekabel mimenu. And that was a great thing because the world we needed to accept from Moshe Rabbeinu. What we couldn't when Hashem started to tell us the first thing, the first two dibros of the series of dibros. Anechi Hashem lekecha. So it's parcha nishmasa, right? On the Neshamas left us, and then we said, please, Moshe Rabbeinu, you give us the Torah. Let Hashem tell you. And then you'll tell us we can't accept it from Hashem. It's too powerful. Right? We all know that, right? You want to say something, Yaakov? No. Kizeh hafsek hu bechinas betula shal Torah zeh kiyuma. So sometimes when you're being mevatel Torah, so to say, not bittul Torah like we understand bittul Torah. But in other words, so to say, Moshe Rabbeinu stops learning to think it through. So that bittul is the kiyuma, is its keeping of it. In other words, the fact if Moshe Rabbeinu would just constantly learn Torah himself, and he wouldn't stop to prepare, so to say, a lesson for Klal Yisrael. Right. So where would the Torah be? It would be bittul. It would be bittul. It would be bittul. But the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu is mevatel his time from his learning the way he knows how to learn to prepare for Klal Yisrael, that's the kiyum. That's the kiyum of the Torah. So sometimes the bittul of the Torah is the kiyum of the Torah. Yeah, go ahead, Ernie.
So I want to understand when Hashem said to the angels, Malachim, do you have a mother or a father? But we did. Does that mean that they were supposed to help teach us the Torah?
No.
Why do we need parents?
No. It's a pasuk in the Torah, right?
That's one of
so one of the mitzvahs, right? So now the question is like this. So they were saying we want to keep the Torah in Shemayim. Why are you bringing it down to the world? So Hashem was telling them, what connection do you have with the Torah Malachim? Look at all these laws.
So how can
do you have? Look, we have the laws of Shemitah, the laws of Yovel. Are they going to plant in Shemayim? There's no planting in Shemayim. What do you have to do with this Torah? This Torah is something that has to come to the world. Hashem was telling.
All the kashrus laws, the food.
Of course.
What does that have to do with having parents, though?
No. It's one of the arguments that we use against the Malachim that they should let go of their kitrug, that they should let the Torah come to the world. That's all it was. Okay, but now the main point we're learning now is sometimes the bittul of Torah of the tzaddik is the kiyuma.
Because sometimes he is trying to get it to teach us because. Well, like they said, a tzaddik in pelts. He just learned it for himself.
Exactly.
So it's not
excellent.
You know?
Excellent. Shezeo bechinas mashe kosav adaneni marenu v'rabeinu zal al maimer abeseinu zal v'dama einav kisrei kisahara Al Shem, right? He says now, V'chein Mekaymes Acherim, Umevaya Mehem, Shayidei Abitul Shel HaTzadik, Shemevatel Atzmai Ma'asagosai, Bein Inyan LeInyan, that the tzaddik is mevatel his own hasaga, his own understanding. His mevatel, he nullifies his own understanding, his own level between each and every topic. That's how we can give life to the whole world. If all these tzaddikim, right, we have all these beautiful svarim. Look, Reb Nosson wrote this beautiful book. So Reb Nosson could have said, you know what, I'm going to learn Torah myself, and I'll just accomplish more on my own. But why should I spend so much time? We wouldn't have this farm. Look, the Rambam was great.
Yeah.
The Rambam was great. Rashi was great. Rashi is great. So, but look how much time Rashi spent writing his Perush on Chumash. But if Rashi would have said, you know what, I'm going to learn for myself. Look how much more Rashi himself would have accomplished. But where would we be today? But where would we be? So Rashi is mevatel, so to say, his own limud for the sake of the people. And that's the kiyuma.
Yeah, but he first had to learn it.
Of course.
In order to write it.
But when we're saying that on his level, he had to still stop doing what he can do in order to come down on our level and to write it for us. As kol hanoshim apshutim, hein hanoshim pshutim mamish, ve'hein haloimdim ve'yareim mevatlin lepamim. Everyone at some time has to be mevatel from their limud and so on. Like we said before with the tzaddik also. Sometimes the tzaddikim are mevatel, they have to go take a walk. They need to get some fresh air. So when they go take fresh air, and you see the tzaddik walking in the street, oh look, I also take walks in the street, of course. So I said, look, wow, the tzaddik is a regular person like me. So now I'm more open to listen to what the tzaddik has to say when I see he's on so to say, he does more. I have something in common with the tzaddik. We're going to see a little later now. Nimsa. Shayadei have sakais shebein parshas, through the separations between the parsha shem simanei parshas, and that's the siman, and that's how you know the parsha. Right, that's how you know the parsha, right? We have this week's parshas Nasa, right? So you know the parsha, right? Because you reread, you see the psukim, you know the parsha. So they said, "Daiki yicholim liskayim kol harechaykim habayim liskarit shetrichim lekabel bechinas bekias." They need to learn this bechinas baki beratzi baki beshav baki ba'ayel baki benafik. Everyone has to understand how to accept the aliyahs and the aridas. They need to understand that. You see this big problem with Bali Tshuva today. Right, you take people and they go on a Shabbaton. Right, they go on a Shabbaton, and they see, oh, it's a great thing. Oh, they loved it. They loved it. They came to Shabbat. They had nice food, and they had some zmiris. People never sometimes ever experienced that before. Right, and they got to daven a little bit, and they learned something of the parsha, and then they go home, and if they're not prepared, that they're not going to stay on that aliyah. For them, that was a big, big aliyah. Right. At that moment, that's an aliyah. Right. But when they go back home, they're going to have a yerida. So if they understand how to weather that yerida, so they can bring themselves back to another aliyah. Right. But if they say, look, I was so great, at this Shabbaton, but then I come home, and look what I'm doing wrong again. Look at all these things I'm doing wrong again, so what good was that?
But if he realizes that he's doing it wrong.
Right.
That's an accomplishment in itself.
Of course, but if he understands that I'm going to come back down, and that the fact that I come back down will actually bring me back up, now that's the kiyum. That's how they'll get somewhere.
And then he could compare. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Exactly.
Look at this where I'm here now. And how much better it is.
And how do we get this? How do we have this idea? Shemekablim kol zeh me'abitol shel hatzadik. When the tzaddik again is a mevatel, his own learning to take care of people, you go meet with the tzaddik and he gives you his time.
Right.
So what, he could be doing a lot of stuff. He could be learning. He could be doing, but no, he's mevatel himself in order to help somebody else. So there bechinas hafsakos bein parsha leparsha, and that's the idea of why the parshas are set up that way. There's also a separation, and that's again what Moshe Rabbeinu did. Moshe Rabbeinu would stop his limit in order to prepare a lesson to give over to Klal Yisrael. Ki hayadei she'atzadik mevatel atzmei me'atayra bein inyan le'inyan, by the tzaddik being mevatel himself. When he finishes one topic, he stops, he thinks it over, he works it out. and then he goes to the next one. He doesn't just keep going to the next one.
No,
He
yeah.
stops. He's thinking, how can I give this over to the world? How can the world accept this? What can I teach the world from what I just learned now?
Because what is he doing only for
But
himself?
even in a way, she is kayem etzlam, v'yischatzku ala modam, b'chol ma sheyaver aleim. So that way everyone will understand that whatever trials and tribulations we go through in our life will teach us. Don't worry, you just have to stand strong and stay strong, and you'll make it through. You'll make it through, Mitzvah Hashem. Kidaika yedei habitol v'afsaka machnis bahem his chaschus hazeh. So every time the tzaddik is mevatel Torah, so to say on his level, not bittul Torah wasting time. No. Bittul on his own level. So that's helping us. That's giving us a boost. That gives us a boost. Come on, b'devar v'zal v'kam mekaymis v'chol elu ha-mekarvin zoichin l'schazek ha-yedei ze ikar ha-beira shelahem. And those that get closer to the tzaddikim, get closer to the to Chazal and the Mamrei Chazal and the halachas of Shulchan Aruch, the more we get closer to them, we attach ourselves to them. That's our chizuk, right? Shu bechinas beira eitz adas toivara. Eitz adas toivara was that confusion. Eitz adas toivara, right? Toiv and ra, and it got confused. It got mixed up. So we're learning about das now, right? So in other words, how do I fix my das? When I realize I learn halacha and I know this is right and this is wrong. This I can do, this I can't do, this I can't do, this I can do. So that's separating the eitz adas toivara, that irvuvia. That mixture, the mixture, right? Therefore, we have to always learn specifically 3 psukim, and we don't do 2 psukim, and we need to do a minimum of 3. Why? Because a minimum of 3 will give you chachma bina das. And you need to have the chachma proper, connected to Torah. The bina should be connected to Torah, and memela. Then the das will manifest itself in the way of Torah, and we'll have our connection. So I think we're going to stop over here. All right, by Lamed Tes. Okay. Thank you, everybody. What? I'm sorry the photos that didn't come out good.
No, the rest of it is good.
Yeah, the next one will be good
The rest of
again.
them are good.
The Lamed Tes will be good. Okay.
Yeah, they're all good. That just moved over.
Yeah, moved up when I was doing it. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. It was Mamash Hashkach Pratis. I brought the book in.
Yeah, see, yeah, I was thinking that.
Want some more coffee?